Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
Dogs of War is another game put out by Cool Mini or Not, or CMON as they're known today. Dogs of War really is a tug-of-war game. And a tug-of-war game is something you would usually see in a two-player game where if I move it this way, then your job is to move it that way. You're just kind of going back and forth. The scoring from Twilight Struggle is a great example of this. In order for me to score a point, you have to not score a point. With Heave Ho, the Cosmo two-player game, probably having it most not on the nose because it's a literal tug-of-war game based on the game Tug of War. So you have that. Dog of War is like that, where we're going to be placing things on the board to move the battle winning, the tug of war of the battle to my side, the side that I want to score points. And based where I put my workers at, I'm going to get certain benefits or help me in my battle or etc., etc. But you're going to be gaining money, which you will use to buy better warriors, let's say. There's 4 different kinds that you can purchase, and you'll use those to place on the board to win the battles and score points and do things and get better. But at its heart, this is a very small tug-of-war game with some chrome put on it. You don't need miniatures in this game. You don't need the add-ons. You don't need any of that. The expansions that came with it kind of give you different powers, unique powers. Each house, if you will, like if you think about like Game of Thrones, each house has a different power, unique custom ability they can do. And that's really neat, but the miniature on this are just added on. Easily could have been tokens. They could be anything. You're literally just putting them on the board. They're almost like workers, if you will, like the little wooden pieces in Agricola. You're just putting them out there to activate certain parts of the board for your benefit. I think Dogs of War works okay. The problem with this game is it's like taking something apart and seeing how it works. And it's no longer magic that your magic box turns on and you can see a movie. Once you kind of understand how it works, it takes a little bit of the magic out of it. I feel like that's what's going on here. I can see the numbers. I can see the tug of war, and it's so bland that I'm just going up and down. Now, this game is very balanced. It's very good for what it does if you're into this sort of thing of utilizing your money to buy the best people. But you can be really hosed with somebody just knowing your strategy or going for an opposite strategy, and these two people are just fighting over very little, and this guy's kind of running away with it, or the third and fourth person's kind of running away with it. I think this game plays best with 4. I feel like it can play 3 or 4, but I feel like with 3, that maybe it's a little bit more, if these two people are fighting, then ding, 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 I'm going to win. I feel like with 4, this game is the strongest. There's a very solid game here. And that's kind of what I would say about it. It's a solid game. Depending on your scale, a strong 6 or a strong 7, and it's solid. But it's not something that's going to make you have those epic moments or get into it, or it's so darn overproduced, too, that I feel like this game could be so much cheaper and give you the same thing. And I'm somebody who loves chrome. I love miniatures. I love all the fancy boop bops and beep beeps and doodads and whatnots and fizzle jizzles. I like all that stuff. But here I look at it and I'm like, man, yeah, this is overproduced stuff. Yeah, Cool Mini. Yeah, I see what you're doing here. Very simple game. And that's simple on Zombicide, where the miniatures represent something and there's a character and you're going through and you're battling. It's just literally a bust of a head, and it's a worker that I'm playing with these extravagant miniatures that are beautiful to look at and probably better placed in a different game. For me, this isn't for me. This isn't for me. The whole tug of war thing, the building, I've seen it done better. I like it better in different games. I like probably a different theme put onto it. I like so many games that are similar. So many games that are very similar that you almost pick what you like and you pick the theme that you like, or you pick, there's some abstract about this that I like. I didn't find it here. So Dogs of War was one I purged, but it's one of those where you know, some games are easy to purge. You're like, that's not a very good game. Or this one's fantastic. I'm keeping it at all costs. It will always be in my collection. And then you have something like, man, that's a pretty solid game. But do I want to play it? Do I want to play it? It's a good game. You know, if you saw it, I understand why that game was published. I get it. But do I want to come back to it? Do I want to play it? And the answer with Dogs of War was no. So it's going to be purged. And for you, I would say, look, if this looks interesting, there's nothing wrong with it. It's balanced. You have the wild powers that people have that work. And you're always saying, well, his is more overpowered than mine. His is better. You have all that in this. I think it works. I think it's balanced. I think it's a fine game. Just one that's not for me. And that happens from time to time. here's Dogs of War by CMON. You can have an okay, kind of tells you the different factions on the front. Not a very dynamic box. It is kind of thick here. You can see it's one of those thicker, bigger boxes that they have. Inside, you're going to have a rulebook, which we'll take a look at in a few. You're going to get a board, which we'll look at also. And then here you have all the different factions and stuff that you're going to have. You're going to have your little... These are just cheap kind of cardboard type stuff. You're going to have some of these cards. They're fine because they'll just be laying on the board. But you can see the different actions on them. And you're going to have some plastic one of these that'll be sitting in here. You're going to have these 6 little stands that you'll be utilizing with the different colors and insignias on them. The money is all plastic, as you can see here. Very nice. You're going to have some little tiles that you'll be utilizing in the game and the beautiful miniatures that you'll have. You can see his head right there. This coming off of it. And they're all different colors. Here's what I like to call the mushroom people, but she has a big hat on, if you can see right there. Female representation, which is nice to see. And then you have the guy here with the big mustache and the funny little hat that he has. And these are just kind of like a bust that you would see. You're going to have a custom insert here. And you'll see everything kind of sits in here really nicely, actually, and gives you exactly what you need to play. So here's the rulebook. You're going to get a nice picture from the box on the front. Now this is going to have a lot of pages and not a lot of usability here. So you know, the people that worked on the game, just character stuff. There's a lot of character stuff. 2 pages of that. We're still into the character stuff. Here's pictures with the components, which are always really nice. I really appreciate this very much. Then you're going to have the setup with a picture with little lines and words going there where everything goes, which is a huge, huge plus. So here's where the game is going to be played. You're going to have a lot of empty space here on the side, lots of white on these pages. And this is really, really the majority of the game are these 2 pages. You have a little bit right here about the rewards and how to do the track that you're going to be doing. And how the battles work, which are very easy, and the end of game. The rest of this is just flavor text. And they really went overboard with kind of what they tell you about all the characters and factions if you want to read that kind of stuff. But this front part is the game. And really, how to play the game is only about 4 pages. And you can see there's a lot of white on these pages. So not a whole lot here. Rulebook is very good. You can learn this game very quickly and be up and playing very quickly. My goal here is just kind of teach you the overflow of the game. Here's going to be the board you'll be utilizing. You're going to have the years up here, the tactic cards, the cost of things, and then this is where your battles will happen. So the board is very friendly, very easy to use. You're going to have how much value they have up here. We're going to put some components on the board and kind of show you how it works. So what you have going on here is you have the tactic cards up here. You're going to have the different people that you'll be able to purchase separated. You're going to have the 6 battle cards that will be out here. And these little battle trackers that will go on each side and tell you who's winning. Think of this as a tug of war. And then you're going to have the victory points up here. Each player is going to start out with 2 tactic cards. And they'll also have secretly have chosen one of the different factions that they'll have in their repertoire. And that's what they'll be scoring off of, is whoever they have randomly. Each player will also get a number of captains depending on which year they're in. In the first year, you will start out with 3 of these captains, these oversized miniatures that are, quite frankly, very much overproduced. At the beginning of each year, everybody will also receive 3 coins, plus any bonus coins that they would normally receive. Then each of the players will buy any of these soldiers they want. If they want to get a war machine, it costs 7. A knight would cost 5. This guy will cost 3. And the footman will cost 1. And on your turn, as you go around the table, you can buy whatever combination that you can afford to purchase. And you will do this before the round starts. This will happen each year. The first thing you can do on a turn is play one of these tactic cards if you so happen to have one. This one allows you to upgrade. So I can discard one of your soldiers and take one costing 1 more coin and then play immediately. This temporize allows me to skip a turn. I can still take my next turn. Buy a new soldier, paying as usual, it's mustering. Betrayal, you can place your captain and soldier on an opposed house. So these cards will just kind of let you break the rules. You can always play one of these at the start of your turn. The next thing you would do is you would play whatever cards that you have of the soldiers that you have, and you will play it down. So let's say that I play this knight right here. I will place this here, and then I can place one of my captains on any one of these spaces that are here. Now, if you look, some of these spaces will have goodies on them. You can get 3 coins or victory points or whatever. So This one will require at least a knight. So since I played a knight, that might be a good place to put my captain on it. If I had not played one there, then I couldn't put it there. Maybe I'd put it over here for nothing. If I meant to requisite for this, I could do the 3 coins. And once you place it on one side of the battle, unless you play a tactic card, you can't play on the other side of the battle. So let's say I put it right here and take my victory points. And then I can move this up. It's strength, which is 5. So that battle strength will go up +5. So this is the whole game where people will play these tactic cards. They will then play these soldier cards they purchase, moving this track back and forth, and then putting out their captains to take bonus actions or whatever that they may want to do. Right here, I might want to take 2 coins and take this action right here. So it's just a tug of war of what you're doing on these spaces. After everybody is done and taking their turns, you will then do a battle outcome phase depending on where this is for each of the 3 battles. If it ever ends on the central space, then both sides have lost. If it's on one space instead of the other, the space that it's on, the side that it's on, will win. When you're bidding, you're going to have these cards that will be out, and these will showcase which one of these sigils up here that you're moving. So in this case, if the Bastini won, then it would move up a space. If this ever ended up all the way to 15, it would move 2 instead of 1. And that's how many points it'll be worth at the end of the game. If you have a captain supporting the team that won, in this case the pink does, then they will receive a victory point. At the end of the game, after the 4 rounds, and you've done all 3 battles for each round, so there'll be 12 of these battles, you will count up which victory points for the people that you supported, which will be showcased by one of these cards that you will get. Any victory points that you may have got from these reward bonuses. And whoever has the most victory points wins the game. A very simple tug of war about getting your side to win as many battles as possible. What makes it exceptionally tricky is that each round you'll be buying these cards for different costs and have different powers on them, and how you want to utilize them and get these bonuses to push up the ones that you want to push up to score the maximum amount of points. Who should buy this game? I think you're looking at people who like tug of war games. And the game is rather simple. There's some moving parts, but it's a rather simple game. I wouldn't say it's gateway. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say a non-gamer could play, but I think what's going on here is rather simple. I think it's a fun little worker placement, area control, battle. It's a tug of war game. Okay? It's a tug of war game. If it sounds interesting to you, fans of Cool Mini or not, who just want to get everything that they put out, this would be it. There's a reason why this is probably the forgotten game. A forgotten, solid game from CMON. Solid is the best words. For me, it's a Purge. Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate you tuning in. If you liked it, please like it and hit that little subscribe button. That really helps out the channel. Lets us know that you're getting the videos that you want. If you agreed or disagree with what I said, feel free to comment below. I'd love to hear what you have to say, and I promise that I will comment back. Thanks for watching, and everybody else, keep playing.